Okay, so this title is not an
exaggeration
at all. Now, if you weren't aware, last week, Bandai Namco held their very first large-scale closed beta test for Blue Protocol. I was able to participate in the closed beta test, and I went on to record over 10 hours worth of footage of the game. And if you've been watching the channel at all in like the last week, then you'll have seen that I did a little mini Blue Protocol series where I pretty much touched on every facet of the game that I could. So if you haven't already, I do recommend going back and checking out episode 1 through 3. They will be linked to in the description, the pinned comment below. They contain a lot of very useful information based off of my experience in the game thus far. However, as I did pretty much cover everything I wanted to in the first 3 episodes, this is kind of going to be the final episode 4. This will function as an all-encompassing review based off of my experience within the closed beta. Before we go any further though, if you're not already, then go ahead and subscribe to our Blue Protocol subreddit. We have an active community of over 10,000 members. We post updates there, including future beta keys, so make sure to stop on by. Hey, you know what? I wonder, can you aggro monsters onto other people?
That's what I tried to do. I tried to hide behind someone and it still came up and smacked me in the face and killed me. Such a jerk! Oh my god!
Oh, that was great!
Why are you so mean?
Yeah, this is, without a doubt, the most fun I have had in an MMO in a long time. Honestly, probably even since Shadowbringers launched back last year. And while I cannot begin to express verbally how impressed I am with this game, how excited I am for its release, you can bet I'm sure as hell gonna try. So, I am a fan of story in MMOs. I talk about this periodically when doing videos. I love JRPGs because they have a very large focus on story, more so than any other aspect of the game. Legend of Dragoon, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Breath of Fire, Suikoden, the Tales of games, Chrono Trigger. Like, I can go on listing off JRPGs off the top of my head. Japanese RPGs raised me, they molded me, they turned me into the man I am today. Which, in retrospect, actually explains a few things. But, you know what? You're not here to listen to me ramble on about my history in the JRPG genre. Blue Protocol plays a lot like an online JRPG, though. You begin your game by creating your character and selecting your class. There are 4 classes to choose between, and there is a solid selection of options when creating your character. And yes, you can edit what's important. What should we go here? Bus size. Nothing? Or Bamco have confirmed that the full launch of the game will include substantially more customization options, so if you were of the impression that the selection was limited, you don't have anything to worry about. Then you're greeted with several long, beautifully animated, fully voice-acted cutscenes that made me scream a little internally. But you know what? I was on stream, so I kinda had to contain my excitement just a little bit. Our viewers, which at the time was over 2,500, requested that I not skip the cutscenes because they were equally as enthralled as I was with what was going on. Then we were met with our very first battle to introduce us to class mechanics, which was easy enough. We passed out, we woke up in an inn, and then we began our journey, which for the first 30 minutes or so consisted of running around the town, talking to NPCs, learning about the different features the game offers. This all sounds just like your typical JRPG, right? And that is one of the reasons why this game is going to appeal to so many people. There are millions, tens of millions of players that love JRPGs, and being able to play a JRPG with tens, with hundreds, with thousands of other players is going to be an opportunity too good to pass up for most people.
Wait. That was so cool. Your magic came out and punched it?
Ow. Yep. Oh no. Oh, are you serious? Wow. Now, one of the most common complaints people have with MMOs, and even games in general, is the difficulty or lack thereof. So many MMOs allow for you to watch Netflix on one screen while cycling through your basic skills on your hotbar on the other, only looking back to see when you've tabbed through each of the targets and everything is dead. Trust me though, Blue Protocol is very different. This game definitely requires your attention, especially while leveling and running through dungeons solo. While leveling, monsters hit hard and actively alert one another when they engage you in battle. This at times leaves you outnumbered and overwhelmed. While we do have a certain level of self-sufficiency due to our self-heals, there is no healing through dead, and honestly, a lot of us learned that the hard way. Speaking of getting overwhelmed by enemy monsters, the AI in Blue Protocol is programmed in a very interesting way. Going back through my stream footage, I realized that the enemy shield type monsters, effectively the tanks, would often stand in front of the mage type enemies and block my shots from going through and hitting them. When I would try moving around them to hit the mage, or when the mage would migrate to the side, the tank monster would follow over to ensure that it was protected. The AI is actually amazingly attentive to small details like this, and it is not only frustrating as you soak up so much more damage having to get through or around the tank, but it makes encounters so much more rewarding. Even boss fights themselves are more challenging than expected. As an example, there was this one boss in specific, a boar boss, that had a specific attack pattern. He'd use a skill, he'd charge right at you, it would require approximately 2 or 3 dodges to get out of, and you'd be fine. But towards the final quarter of his life, he suddenly changed strategy and began to charge almost uncontrollably. Boosted his attack. That's never a good sign. Holy! What the fuck? No, 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 no. No, no, why is he still ramming? Whoa. Oh, he's dead. Now, this isn't something that's new or exclusive to Blue Protocol. Boss monsters in other MMOs, WoW, Final Fantasy XIV, both have bosses that use different skills at different stages of the fight, but this is one of the low-level dungeons, one that shouldn't have this level of difficulty or these types of mechanics involved. Granted, I was definitely caught off guard here, but it did go on to teach me a very valuable lesson. Blue Protocol is not like normal MMOs, and actually you guys should not expect it to be. But while yes, this game is more difficult than your average MMO, and the story does leave you with an actual sense of involvement, there's more to it than that. There's more that sets this game apart from the norm. In Blue Protocol, there's a gearing progression system in place. Naturally, if you couldn't obtain gear, there would be no real sense of progression, right? You'd essentially be leveling for the sake of leveling at that point. However, gear here takes a very different form. From what I gathered over the course of my time playing, you obtained no gear at all. From quests, from dungeons, from monster drops, gear doesn't really seem to be a possible drop or a reward from anything. Instead, you go on to craft your gear with materials you get as a reward from quests or find out in the world or loot in a dungeon or get after killing a boss monster. But you need to be careful as these very same materials are used to craft Imagine, which are unique monsters that function as new abilities you can equip and can also be used to augment your own abilities and statistics. These Imagine can be leveled as well, increasing their effectiveness, and are available both as monsters you can equip and use as skills and gear that are in essence accessories. There is absolutely no armor system present in-game, much like in Blade and Soul, and I know that this may disappoint a few of you, but your character does have outfit slots, and there are already quite a few different outfits that you can both purchase and earn in-game, with Bandai Namco actually going on to state that there will be additional cosmetic items that you'll be able to purchase through the store. But regardless, at the very least, you're not going to have to worry about whether you waste your crafting materials on either a weapon or armor. And let's be honest here, juggling materials to not only craft new Imagine, but to also upgrade them and craft and upgrade weapons as well is already going to require somewhat of a grind. But this is still a very interesting way of tackling progression, and I am totally on board for it. Final Fantasy XIV is one of the most popular MMOs right now. Phantasy Star Online 2 has been incredibly popular for the almost decade it has been around for. And honestly, Blue Protocol kinda looks like it's gonna be a combination of the two games. Japan has produced some of the highest quality, some of the most popular MMOs on the market. Long-lasting games that don't die off a year or two after releasing, which is something that you can't say about South Korea or China and their churn and burn titles released released every other year. Blue Protocol is an absolutely beautiful looking game. It's being built for both current types of gamers in mind. You can tackle dungeons and proceed exclusively with the story on a single character completely solo if you want to. Or you can tackle it with friends in a group and have difficulty scaled for every additional player within your group. Monster AI is very intelligent, with enemies actively working together to defend one another. This is honestly something that I wish pugs could figure out. The world seems large with lots of personality, small little villages spread out over the zones with NPCs, quests, hidden rewards just waiting to be discovered. Rarely do developers show the amount of care and polish that is shown in this game. But then this is being done by a AAA developer, something that we have not seen in a very long time. I know some of you are looking forward to New World, but I guarantee you, Amazon have not shown remotely as much professionalism or faith in their game as Bandai Namco have in Blue Protocol. And honestly, while New World may be a very solid game for players that are interested in survival games, Blue Protocol is going to satiate the needs of both MMO fans and anime fans. This is an MMO that honestly I am going to be able to lose myself in. I haven't done this since I first played Final Fantasy XIV years ago, and WoW years before that. It's rare to have a game like this come along, and I plan on taking my time with it. Granted, the game doesn't have an ETA on when it'll release, even within Japan, so expecting a global release this year is highly unlikely. Nevertheless, I do plan on continuing to cover this game whenever and wherever I possibly can. But those are my impressions after having played through a ton of the closed beta. I'll definitely be around for all of the future beta tests, and over the next couple months, hopefully we have tons of new content to push out on the game. Until then, enjoy some highlights from the stream, like Moonlight Blade, MMOs that are... Oh no! Oh wow, you fall into the water, you die! Oh my god.
Yes, it is not stupid proof. Finally, an MMO that's not stupid proof.
Yeah, the game really is not stupid proof. Okay, here we go.
Other arm? Both arms.
That was terrible. I can't believe you made me do that. Wait, you're downstairs, right? This isn't an MMO, people said. You know what, I'm gonna lock onto him for this. Purely so I can actually see what I'm hitting. That is a mage skill! Are you kidding me? That is bullshit. This is why I wanted to go mage. I'm so upset with you. What are you upset for, little lady? I don't really know. My hair poofed. Oh yeah, I saw your hair do that. It was really weird. Oh my god, you saw that? I thought it was all in my head. Yeah, nope, yeah, I did. Poof. Well, no, it did not. Just leave me alone. Oh my god, what? You're a very entitled child, aren't you? I'm not entitled. What are you talking about? You fucking murder you in your sleep late tonight, you bitch. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna leave. Yeah, you better leave or this fist will go right up your ass. Okay. Yeah, you know what I mean. Kinda, I guess. I'm not 100% certain, but... Yeah, you do. Oh my god, what the f*** just happened? Oh my god.
Seriously, y'all. This is the only dancing you need for this stream right now. All these people just dancing in unison, too. That is impressive. Friend. No.
You're almost dead.
I see that. 911, guys. Oh lord. I died.
Someday soon I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth